Hey, this is Tila with Explore Sex Talk, and today we're going to be talking about how to get tested. Everyone has an STI status, and it's important that you know yours. It's a huge piece of being a sexually healthy and responsible adult. Getting tested on a regular basis will help you avoid any long-term health risks by helping you address any problems quickly and before they can cause any serious damage. It also helps you and your sexual partner remain safe while reducing the risks they have of contracting anything. What kind of routine you have for getting tested should be dictated by your lifestyle, whether you go once a year, before every new partner, or as frequently as once every 3 months. It should be a personal choice that is in line with keeping yourself safe and healthy. Getting tested doesn't have to be a scary or anxiety-invoking experience. Just remember that no matter what the results are, you are taking the important steps to protect your long-term health. Many people don't like going to the dentist, but we do it all the same to keep our mouths and teeth healthy. Getting tested is a bit like going to the dentist for your genitals. So where do you go to get tested? Well, when it comes to STI screening, you have lots of different options about where you can go. If you have a family doctor, they can order the test for you. If you don't have a family doctor, you can ask for a screening to be done at any walk-in clinic. Another option is to go to a sexual health clinic. If you're feeling at all anxious about getting your screening done, a sexual health clinic may be the better way to go. Many of these professionals at these clinics are experienced with helping those with anxiety around STI screening. They will also almost be guaranteed to have up-to-date information on sexually transmitted infections and be able to answer more complex questions. General practitioner doctors may be a little less prepared as they don't specialize in sexual health. Finally, in some regions like British Columbia, you actually have the option of requesting the exam through an online service. Get Checked Online is a website that allows you to create an account with an email. You'll be able to create a lab form that you can take to a participating Life Lab location. You provide the samples they need for the test, and then your results will be available online to the account that you created. So what happens during the exam? Well, that actually really depends on what sexually transmitted infection is being tested for. Tests can range from samples taken from a cheek or genital swab, urine, a blood sample, or if there's any active symptoms present. If you're testing for everything, you may need to provide one of each. So let's break it down for each STI. For chlamydia, it's usually tested for with a urine test or a swab around the genitals. If you're having any unprotected oral or anal sex, a swab in these areas may be necessary as well. It is something you should mention to your health professional. It is possible for the mouth or the anus to be infected with chlamydia without your urine samples testing positive. Gonorrhea is also tested for with urine or a swab around the genitals, and also like chlamydia, gonorrhea can also infect the mouth or the anus without testing positive in urine. Be sure to discuss this with your healthcare professional if you've been having any unprotected oral or anal sex. HIV is usually tested for with a blood test, although it can also be done with a swab inside the mouth. Genital herpes can be tested for with a blood test. If you're not showing any symptoms, be sure to ask for a specific IgG test and not an IgM test. If someone is experiencing any symptoms, a swab can be taken off the infected area. If the test is being performed during an outbreak, it's really important that you go within 48 hours of the time the outbreak starts. As more time passes, the culture taken for the test will not read as accurately. Syphilis can be tested for with a blood test or a sample taken from a sore if there's any symptoms. Trichomoniasis is tested for with a swab in the infected area or a physical exam or a sample of discharge. It's important to note that it's actually much harder to diagnose this STI in penises than in vulvas. HPV is typically only tested for in vulvas, although people with penises can be carriers. HPV can cause genital warts in a person of any gender, and those are usually visually diagnosed. It can also cause cervical cancer, which is usually found through Pap tests that look for abnormal cells. So what if you go and the doctor refuses to test you? Well, sometimes that can happen, as doctors feel the test may be unnecessary and that you're not at risk. But it's important for you to fight for your basic rights to healthcare. STIs are a lot more common than most people believe, and you're the one who's able to best determine your level of risk because you're aware of what activities you've been engaged in and what safer sex methods have been utilized and what ones haven't. Getting tested more than once every 3 months is considered a bit redundant, as many STIs can take time to show in your system. So getting tested more than once every 3 months can be a waste of money and resources. But aside from this, no doctor should be refusing you a screening. It does happen, though. I once argued with a walk-in clinic doctor for over half an hour because he believed that I was not at risk, but I had gone in requesting a screening prior to starting a new relationship. Experiences like this can be really off-putting and discouraging, but it does happen, and it shouldn't let it stop you from getting tested. As we've discussed, there's lots of other options. You can easily go to another clinic, go to a sexual health clinic, or try the online feature if it's available in your region. The bottom line is that it's your responsibility to look after your sexual health, so be sure to fight for your right to those screenings. Once the test is complete, it can take some time for the results to be in. Depending on where you're located and how busy the local lab is, results can be anywhere from a few days up to 3 weeks. An important thing to know is that the results will never be given to you over the phone. It's usually against many clinics' rules to release such sensitive information like that over the phone. In many cases, if the tests do come back clear, the clinic simply won't contact you. If you wish to have confirmation of the results, you'll have to make an appointment. If the clinic does call you back, don't panic. Sometimes the clinic may have found something else in your blood and urine that they wish you to know about. Occasionally, this can be signs of another infection, such as a urinary tract or bladder infection. If you have tested positive for an STI, it is not the end of the world. You just need to take the next steps to restore yourself back to health. The doctor will walk you through what is necessary. All you need to do is follow their instructions to the letter. If you have tested positive, it's important that you inform your sexual partners. They should go in for a screening to find out if they are positive for the same STI. Now, if you're nervous about contacting your previous partners, a lot of clinics do have a courtesy program. If you provide the names and contact information, they will discreetly contact any partners and ask them to come in for a screening. They won't mention your name or any name at all as to who identified them as a sexual partner. So you can always discuss this with the clinic to see if they provide this courtesy service. We need to take the fear out of getting tested, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to just establish it as a routine, just something that you do to take care of yourself. It'll only be scary the first couple of times you go. Every time you go, it'll get easier and you'll be more comfortable with the process. You can take charge of your sexual health and your general health in a whole new way. If you're still feeling nervous about it, you may wish to consider having a friend that you go get tested with. Sometimes it's easier to go with someone else, and you can do something fun afterwards, like go for ice cream or go for a drink, whatever. So, share this today with someone and find a buddy to go get tested with. If you're interested in more information, please stop by our website, www.exploresextalk.com.